Okay, I guess I'm gonna start now. So, welcome to our DIY planning event. So, I'm gonna first go over a little agenda for tonight. So, first, I'm gonna be teaching you guys different plants you can grow from leftover scraps you have at home. So, this would include fruits and vegetable plants, herb plants, and other plants. Then I'm going to go over how you can take care of your plants so continue to grow. And then if you guys have any questions or comments for the end. So first off, fruit plants. You can grow strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries by yourself at home using seeds from the fruit. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries during the summertime when they're in season. So how to start growing them is that first you want to start picking the seeds from the fruit. And this can just be done by picking them out and then let them dry out for a couple of days. And once they fully dried, you want to plant them into some soil into a cup or a pot and let them sit in the sun. Once they've begun to sprout a little more, you want to transfer them into a bigger pot or outside in your garden for them to continue growing under the sun. You can also grow different fruits like apple and pear trees in the cold winter. So in order to do this, you have to first take the seeds out. And just like this, you want to take, these are all apple seeds. So then you just want to take apple seeds and a damp paper towel and have it covered. And make sure when you have them covered, you keep them in a dark area for about a week for them to start sprouting. And once you see that they've begun sprouting, you want to just put them into some soil and a pot to keep them well watered. And once they've sprouted even more, you can put them in a bigger pot or outside for it to grow under the sun. Now for your vegetable plants. A fun, easy vegetable you can grow are tomatoes. They can either be grown inside or outside. So once you've removed the seeds from the tomatoes, you can just put them into a jar or a cup and make sure to put saran wrap at the top and poke some holes for it to breathe. After a week of sitting in the jar, you want to remove it and then make sure to thoroughly wash and dry the seeds and then place them under some soil to keep it well watered and make sure you keep them away from sunlight. But once your seeds start to sprout, you can then move it to a bigger pot with some soil or outside in your gardens and make sure you place them under enough sunlight for it to grow outside of its pot. So for your winter squash, this is a fun plant to grow outside during the fall time. So you want to take your seeds out and place them in some soil and water the seeds at least once a week and make sure you grow them, you place them under a sunny area. And if you want your winter squash to be ready by the fall time for the holidays, make sure that you start planting them during the summertime, specifically July, for them to be ready in time. For your leafy greens, which is probably one of the easier vegetables to plant, you just want to take any lettuce you have around, any type of lettuce, and take the base of the lettuce, placing it like in this picture in a cup of water. Make sure it's shallow water and that the water is covering the base and keeping the cut side facing upwards. Keep your cup in direct sunlight and then make sure to change out the water every other day. And as you see here, as your lettuce base starts to grow, you just want to change them out into a bigger glass to give it room to grow. And lettuce generally grows pretty fast. So you want to make sure after it starts growing, you want to place them into soil and keep them watered under sunlight. And once they're ready to eat, all you gotta do is pick them from their root and make sure to continue watering it because your lettuce leaves will continue to grow more. So for your herb plants, generally most herbs are grown the same way, can be grown the same way. So all you gotta do is take some stems or leftover herb cuttings that you have, placing it in a cup of water and ensuring that that you keep them under direct sunlight. And once you see that roots or little buds start growing from the stems, you want to transfer that to a pot of soil or outside for it to grow. Here, what my family does every year in the springtime, just like this. This is Thai basil. So you can just keep it in a cup of water like this and just let it grow, continue to grow. And once it's ready, we'll grow this outside and place it in our garden. So then we have fresh Thai basil all summer round right in our backyard. Now for aloe vera plant, the aloe vera plant is under the succulent family, which means that you can grow multiple aloe vera leaves from one aloe vera leaf. So all you gotta do is cut off a piece of the aloe vera and place it into soil, but make sure that the cut side is inside the soil. And when watering your aloe vera plant, you wanna make sure that you're not overwatering it. And if you do overwater it, you'll end up killing the plant. So what you want to do is wait until your soil is completely dry before you start watering it. Once it's completely dry, then you can just water it with as much water and just making sure the next time you do it again, the soil is completely dry. And once your aloe vera leaves have grown, you can either cut more to grow more leaves, or you can use it for many healing properties. So they're great for soothing sunburns, cuts, insect bites, and many other things. So now that you have planted your plants, how do you take care of them and keep them alive? Well, one way to help your plants grow is to use fertilizer, and you can simply use food scraps you have at home. So one type of fertilizer you can use is a banana peel. All you have to do is take your banana peel and place it on top of the soil on where your plant grows. And then this will give it an extra potassium boost. And potassium helps with your plants to photosynthesize and help grow. A second type of fertilizer you can use are coffee grounds. So next time that you make coffee, make sure to save your grounds, and then you can just take a teaspoon of your coffee grounds and sprinkle them into the soil. This will help give a boost of minerals and nitrogen. What they do for the plants is that they help plants grow proteins, which is basically plant food for it. Another fertilizer you can use are eggshells. So what you want to do is take your extra eggshells and wash them of any egg residue and dry them out in the sun. And once they've dried up, you can just crush them up and sprinkle them into your soil or mix it into your soil for your next plant. And this will give your plants an extra calcium boost so their roots and vines will have a stronger structure. Other helpful tips and tricks would be number one, no matter what plant you want to plant, make sure to do some extra research because all plants are different and a lot of them have different requirements for you to take care of it. Number two, make sure when you're plotting your plants into a pot, ensure that in the bottom there are holes and and extra space so excess water can drain out. So this avoids overwatering your plants. Number three is if you see that your plants do have some dead parts or dead leaves, don't be afraid to just cut it off because this will help stimulate healthy regrowth. Number four, make sure that you are rotating your potted plants every few days to make sure that they all get even amount of sunlight and growth. And number five, make sure when you see that your plant is outgrowing the pot, make sure to plant it in a bigger pot or outside in the garden evenly spaced out if because if you leave the roots overcrowding, it can kill the plant. So just ensure that they have enough space to grow even more. So do you guys have any questions or comments or anything to say?
I didn't know that you were, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you have to rotate the plants to make sure that it gets even sunlight. That is news to me.
Yeah, like I guess if you do have a lot of plants in your house, you start to run out of space. Like my mom, she's a big planter and she's always like moving the plants to get the right sunlight in our house because your different parts of your house gets different amounts of sunlight.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else? Okay, thank you guys for coming and showing up. I hope you guys learn some more about plants and you guys start planting this spring because it's the perfect time to start planting as the season's getting warmer and you guys probably have nothing to do from quarantine, so hopefully you guys pick up a new hobby, bring some greens into your household. Thank you for listening and everything.